Another glorious day in the People's Republic of ZANU-PF, where justice is whatever the ruling elites say it is, and the courts are nothing more than rubber stamps for political persecution. Today's Circus Act, the High Court of Zimbabwe, in its infinite wisdom, or rather its infinite servitude, has denied bail to journalist and political prisoner Blessed Mhlanga, because in this country, telling the truth is a bigger crime than looting public funds or stuffing ballot boxes. If you were hoping for a fair trial, you might as well be waiting for Mnangagwa to step down voluntarily. Mhlanga, now spending his 25th day behind bars, was arrested on the most ridiculous charge imaginable: broadcasting incitement material. Translation: he interviewed the wrong people and exposed the wrong crimes. First, he sat down with Blessed Geza, the war veteran and former intelligence officer who has become the biggest thorn in Mnangagwa's side after openly opposing the dictator's desperate, unconstitutional bid for a third term. That alone was enough to get him mugged for punishment. But he didn't stop there. Oh no, he had the audacity to interview Jealous Mawarire, who decided to pull back the curtain on a corrupt scheme to snatch the people's own savings bank. And that, dear Zimbabweans, is when the regime decided it had had enough. Because in Zimbabwe, the government doesn't deny corruption. It just silences anyone who talks about it. Enter George Charamba, Mnangagwa's resident Twitter warrior and official spokesperson, whose job description includes issuing threats on social media and pretending ZANU-PF is a functioning administration. The moment Mhlanga aired that interview, Charamba couldn't help himself. He jumped onto Twitter to declare that Mhlanga was going to get into trouble. You have to admire the efficiency of this regime. They don't even bother hiding their plans anymore. They just announce their intention in broad daylight and then they carry them out like clockwork. And so, right on schedule, Mhlanga was picked up, dragged to court, and promptly denied bail. The magistrate's court did its part in the charade, nodding along like a well-trained puppy and sending him straight to jail. But because ZANU-PF loves to give the illusion of due process, they let him appeal to the High Court. Surely, justice would prevail there, right? Wrong. The High Court simply followed the script. Political orders had already been issued, and Zimbabwean courts, as always, do exactly what they are told. The only surprising thing is that they even pretended to deliberate before throwing out his appeal. Let's hear from his lawyer how it all transpired in the High Court.
Disappointed with the outcome of our bail appeal. As some of you would have heard, the High Court has dismissed the bail appeal of Blessed Mhlanga. The reasoning of the court was that the magistrate, when he dismissed the bail application, he was correct. The grounds upon which the bail application was dismissed were upheld. Namely that there is a chance that Blessed would interfere with relevant state witnesses. The High Court agrees with the fact that if released on bail, Blessed would interfere with his workmates who are potential witnesses. The court described Blessed's position as a lofty position or a high-ranking position within the organization for which he works, and therefore that position, that higher position, would induce the accused person to interfere with the justice system. It was also repeated by the High Court that releasing Blessed Mhlanga on bail might pose a threat to the security of our nation. We respectfully disagree with the finding of the court, but we respect absolutely the position taken by the High Court. What this means is that Blessed shall continue to be in custody. He continues to be in detention since there is no bail in his favor. His next court session will be early April 2025, but we hope to go back to the Magistrates Court before April 2025 with a request for a reconsideration of his circumstances. We shall be studying the very lengthy judgment that has been passed by the Honorable Judge with a view to mapping out the next steps depending on the findings of the High Court. That is where we are, and we shall keep you posted. Thank you.
But our hero, Mhlanga, is not going without fighting. He handed a handwritten letter to his lawyer, and the lawyer read it to the media. And so we are going to give it to you. Here is the letter.
Fellow Zimbabweans, my esteemed workmates at AMH, my persecutors. It's almost a month and I remain in custody, serving a prison sentence that's neither defined or reasonable. Some will argue it's the wheels of justice turning. Whose justice, I ask? Just to serve a prison term with no conviction? Just to deny me my rights, including access to education? Just to deny a family its father, its husband, its only breadwinner? Is it just to force my family into poverty without any competent court convicting? Ours is not an easy road. It's a marathon, and I thank you for walking it with me. Most of the times, carrying me on your broad shoulders. Your voices and solidarity, as communicated to me by my lawyers, have kept me strong and alive. It has protected my family, my daughter as she prepares to sit for her advanced level examinations, my sons as they wonder why Dad is not home for the past 25 days. Your support has lessened the burden on me. I thank you. Please know this journalism is all that I know and intend to do. In all this, our desire is to inform a nation, to equip it with information that will build a stronger and better Zimbabwe. I take no sides with individuals, but with truth and facts. If facts and truth are illegal, prison is my home. HSTV is my home. It's my passion. My colleagues have stood with me and by me, and I thank them. My legal team has acted in my best interests at all times, and I'm grateful. Thank you, Team AMH. Let's not forget, the sun will set one day. The legal issues I leave to Chris Mika to address. Asante Sana, with love. Darabi, blessed Mhlanga, free, the hashtag free Dara.
This entire fiasco is a masterclass in how to destroy a legal system. Zimbabwe's constitution, which guarantees bail unless there are serious reasons to deny it, might as well be printed on toilet paper. After all, this is the same judiciary that lets corrupt politicians and non-criminals roam free, but locks up journalists for doing their job. If you are caught with a suitcase full of US dollars meant for bribing officials, you are a distinguished businessman. If you expose that suitcase on live TV, you are an enemy of the state. That's the Zimbabwean legal system in a nutshell. Justice for the rich and powerful, prison for those who ask too many questions. Mhlanga's detention is not just an attack on him. It's a warning shot to every journalist in the country. The message is clear. Investigate corruption at your own risk. Speak too loudly and you will find yourself behind bars. This is state-sponsored intimidation at its finest. But let's be real. Does anyone actually fear this regime anymore? Because from the conversations in combis to the whispers in supermarkets, it's clear that Zimbabweans are just waiting for the right moment to throw this dictatorship into the dustbin of history where it belongs. And here's the twist the regime didn't see coming. March 31. March 31 is not an ordinary day. It's not just another court date in their fascist-like legal process. No, it's the day Zimbabweans plan to rise to reclaim their country, to demand the release of all political prisoners, and to finally rid themselves of Mnangagwa's dictatorship. If ZANU-PF thought keeping Mhlanga locked up would silence the people, they've badly miscalculated. The voices are only getting louder. The anger is only getting stronger. And the determination is now unshakable. Mhlanga should be free, not because some compromised judge decides to follow the law for once, but because the people will no longer tolerate this nonsense. Mnangagwa's entire house of cards is teetering. And come 31 March, Zimbabweans intend to blow it down. So to those who still think fear will keep people in check, brace yourselves. The people are coming, and this time, they are not asking for permission. Subscribe to Zimwaves TV, where the truth refuses to be censored, just like the people refuse to be silenced.